Hi guys, welcome to Hoops Junction. Playoffs are coming soon. We are doing an NBA playoffs Western Conference preview. I'm going to tell you the series, who wins, and why. Let's start off with the 1-8 seed. Golden State Warriors, number 1 seed versus Portland Trail Blazers, the 8 seed. Now, I was initially going to say this could have been a 6-game series because I have a lot of respect for Dame. I have a lot of respect for CJ McCollum. But looking at the way that the Golden State Warriors have been playing, I believe they won the 14 of the last 16. They had a 14-game winning streak going out into the regular season. They have been dominant. And what's crazy is their defense has been immensely dominant. They have better defensive numbers than they did last year when they went 73-9. The Golden State Warriors are a machine. Now, you look at the Portland Trail Blazers, they had to fight their way into the playoffs. You know, Damian Lillard said it best. He said, we're a better team than what our record shows. So to me, they are a better team, but they lost Nurkic, and he had like a hairline fracture or a fracture in his foot or his leg. So we're going to see if he could play. If he could play, this could possibly go to a 6-game series. But you know what? Now that Dame Lillard said, man, he said that Blazers in 6, all bets are off of that. The Golden State Warriors are going to try to sweep this team. They're going to try to sweep this team just based off general principle. Oh, you think you're going to go 5 games with us? No, sir. No, sir. We're going to beat you twice at home, and then we're going to go to where the Rose Arena or whatever. We're going to go to Portland, and we're going to beat you there, and you ain't coming back. You ain't coming back to Golden State. You ain't coming back to Oracle. And that's the kind of message. If the Golden State Warriors do that, they won't know they're primed and ready to take a championship, because that's what championship teams do. You know, I remember a team, what was it? It was the Charlotte Hornets against the Heat. You know, they asked Kemba Walker, how do you feel about the series? You know, how do you feel they're going to do? We're going to win in 5. So somebody said something. Was it Kemba? I think it was Kemba. Got swept. And that's how championships do. Championship teams do. You do not let the opposition talk smack about you. Talking about they're gonna beat you in 6. Like, come on, man. Like, you don't predict that. You just say, we feel like we have a good game plan. I feel like we could possibly win the series. You know, you give your opponent a lot of respect. And you got Durant coming back. All bets are off. All bets are off. Durant averages like 30 points against his team. Stephen Curry averages like 30 points against the Blazers as well. So it's gonna be a long series. No, it's gonna be a short series, but a long one in terms of defensive matchups for the Portland Trail Blazers. I'm not downplaying what Lillard could do. I'm not downplaying what CJ McCollum could do. But I feel like his comments are pretty much giving fuel to the fire. Like, you don't do that. Like, you don't wake up a sleeping giant. Now they got ammunition. They're motivated even more. You know what I'm saying? Certain small things can motivate somebody to do something that they didn't even think could be possible. So I got the Warriors either in 5 or sweeping the series, because that comment right there, all X's and O's out of the box. Like, they might have games where they're up by 20 and they might try to stick it to them by 40 just based off what he said. Next matchup we're talking about, San Antonio Spurs at the 2 spot versus Memphis Grizzlies. San Antonio Spurs have historically owned the Memphis Grizzlies. They just find a way to win. Even when they're down, they find a way to win. They own the Grizzlies. This year is going to be a little different. Marc Gasol and Zebo coming off the bench, I believe that has sparked a little thing in Memphis. I believe that they can make this a 6-game series. And I'm still picking the Spurs in 6, but I feel that the shooting that the Memphis Grizzlies have now, which is Mike Conley, they have Vince Carter, and they also have Chubby Boy. I can't remember his name. He used to play, Chandler Parsons. There we go. Chandler Parsons. If Chandler Parsons could possibly play and contribute, then it's going to be a nice 6-game series. Still favoring the Spurs, but here are the things that you got to deal with. You got to deal with Zebo. You got to deal with Gasol. Gasol against Gasol. And younger Marc Gasol is much more athletic than Pau Gasol. The huge advantage they have is Kawhi Leonard, which is a defensive nightmare. And he's an all-around superstar. I love Kawhi Leonard. His game speaks for itself. the thing that boils down to is Mike Conley is an X factor for the Grizzlies because Tony Parker really can't guard anybody anymore. He just can't guard anybody. So you're gonna have a heavy dose of Patty Mills, and I don't know how that's gonna work out if you can't play Tony Parker a lot because a lot of the Spurs' success in the playoffs goes through Tony Parker. How he handles the ball, how he gets to the rack, how he splits the defense, and Patty Mills is a great player, but I don't think you can give him elevated minutes against this Memphis team because you're playing into their hands because you're not penetrating, you're trying to shoot. And they love to make teams, jump shooting teams, and keep you out of the paint. That's like their bread and butter. Now, I don't know if Tony Allen can play in this series because he's hurt, but I feel like they have enough young guys that can step up. So I love this matchup. I don't think it's going to be a sweep how it has been in the past. You know what I'm saying? LaMarcus Aldridge has a tall order and guarding whoever he's guarding, Zebo or Marc Gasol. And another thing for Marcus Aldridge, how is that heart condition going to play into the playoffs? You know, is he 100% ready to go or is he going to manage his minutes? So I like that matchup. I still like the Spurs. Popovich is way too good. I give Teasdale a leg up. You know, you're not getting swept in my book. I think you're going to do a solid job. I think it's going to be a good series. Like, Memphis Spurs, always good series. It's just Spurs always dominate. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, Ginobili's older, Parker's older. So they're not going to be as much of a factor. So Memphis has a puncher's chance, but I still give it to San Antonio Spurs. Next matchup we're talking about are the Houston Rockets, 30 seed, versus Oklahoma City Thunder. I love matchup MVP versus MVP. You know, sometimes the voting goes into the first round, so this could determine who wins the MVP, even though, to me, it's already a lock. Like, Russell Westbrook already got this. It's already in the bag. Here's the thing about this series. The Houston Rockets are a one-trick pony. They shoot the three, and they pick and roll you to death with James Harden. That's all they do. If Oklahoma City Thunder can find a way to slow down that pick and roll, or at least take the shooters off the line, this can be an upset. Golden State Warriors, every time they play Houston this season, they, besides the first game, they have completely shut down Houston's three-point shooting. And they do it without fouling, crowding their space, contesting every three. If the Oklahoma City Thunder can contest every three and have a solid defensive game plan, just staying in front of James Harden, not letting him penetrate. Stay in front, because that's all Golden State does to him. And all the great defensive teams, they just stay in front of him. Crowded space. If they could possibly do that, don't reach, they can win this series. And that's who I'm picking to win this series. I'm picking the Oklahoma City Thunder to win this series. I don't think what Russell Westbrook has been doing is a fluke, but I do think what Mike D'Antoni has been doing with the Houston Rockets has been a fluke. Due to the simple fact that we've seen this with Mike D'Antoni and his teams before. They always win 50 games. They always put up great numbers. He's always a candidate for Coach of the Year, or he can grab Coach of the Year when he has a player that's Steve Nash-ish, or now James Harden-ish. So now we see the regular season's accolades, but in the playoffs, the game slows down. You have a great coach for Oklahoma City Thunder who knows how to create matchup problems and also knows how to defend. The Rockets are small on the inside. So the Oklahoma City Thunder have another advantage, which is pounding the ball inside and also offensive rebounds. The only advantage the Houston Rockets have is the three ball. If the Oklahoma City Thunder can find a way to take away that three ball, if you just take away the three ball, limit it, they have a puncher's chance. And I believe they could win the series. They could win the series. And the thing is, I've seen James Harden fail too many times. Like against that Portland, when they lost to Portland, with Damian Lillard, I think they lost in 5. He had Dwight Howard, lost in 5. Went to Western Conference Finals. You lost. I think it was in 5 as well. I don't think James Harden has enough right now to close out series. Right now, like, I don't think he has enough. I feel like his team is great. I feel like his team is better. I know his team is better. So I've been chanting that all year in terms of the MVP race. But I feel like the style of play is going to favor the Oklahoma City Thunder. It's going to be a lot more physical. It's going to be a lot more slowed down. And that doesn't favor that up and down style of Mike D'Antoni. And if you let Russell Westbrook run amok, then you have a big problem, because Oklahoma City Thunder can put Roberson on James Harden. Houston Rockets cannot put anybody on Westbrook. You can't put Patrick Beverly on Westbrook. He's gonna back him down and get fouled and go to the line. You can't put Eric Gordon on Westbrook. He's gonna blow by him. You can't put James Harden on Westbrook. So that's the thing there. Who are you gonna put on Westbrook? Westbrook is too dynamic, and I don't think it's a fluke at all. You know, last time we seen something like this was with Michael Jordan. You know, I believe it was when is that playoffs where he scored 63 points. He had that string of 7 straight triple doubles, and everybody was like, "Oh, like, you know, he's a fluke. He injured his foot, but he finally came back and played." And he, like Larry Bird said, he was a great player. He thought God was on the court playing basketball with him. But here's the thing, man. I know the Rockets on paper are head and shoulders better than Oklahoma City Thunder. I don't think this is a paper series. I think this is a series where we see who has more heart. The team with more heart will win the series, and I feel like that's the Oklahoma City Thunder. That's my pick. I got them in 7. I got OKC in 7 because I don't think James Harden's going to go quietly, but he will go eventually. Final series we're talking about are the Los Angeles Clippers at the 4 seed and the Utah Jazz at the 5. I like this series a lot. I feel like this series is a reboot series for the Los Angeles Clippers. This is, it could potentially be a dogfight. So this could go 6. If the Clippers know what's good for them, it should go 5. The Clippers are way too good. They have too much talent. You have Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, Jamal Crawford, Paul Pierce. You have way too many great players. Even if they're past, some of them are past their prime, for this to go to 6 games. Rudy Gobert is not a scorer. Gordon Hayward is a great player. He's a very underrated player in my opinion. I just don't think that Gordon Hayward has enough in the tank to put together 4 straight good games that close out the Clippers. I feel like Chris Paul knows how to play in playoffs, knows how to manipulate the referees. I feel like J.J. Redick and his shooting will be a problem for the Utah Jazz. And offensive rebounds, because besides Gobert, who do you have really boxing out? Nobody's going to be boxing out Blake Griffin. I hope not, anyway. I hope not. But to me, this is a 5-game series. I got the Clippers. I got a lot of respect for Doc. But I'm telling you this. If this game goes 6 games, then the Clippers are in a world of trouble, because the next, whoever they play next is gonna give it to them, because Clippers need to make quick work of this. They're an older team. They can't get into an up and down pace, and they have flaws in terms of depth. So they can't play around with this team. They got to make quick work of this team. And from all accounts, the Utah Jazz are a tough team to play. They're very tough, and they're very great defensively, great defensive team. And that's going to just boil down to what strategy comes into play. Can we play as much defense as Utah, or can we outscore them? Either way, you have too much talent to lose, not to lose, possibly lose the series. Clippers cannot lose the series. If they lose this series, this will be a referendum on their season, a referendum on Chris Paul, a referendum on Blake Griffin. Like, you guys couldn't come together enough. That's what it's going to be like. Well, that's my Western Conference playoff preview, first round. This is Vlad from Hoops Junction. You know what I'm saying? Like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think about this, man. Let me know who you think is going to win and why. Let me know if my upset is, like, making you bug out. Like, are you crazy? You know, I don't mind it, because, you know, this is just a pick'em series. And I like a lot. The playoffs are going to be really good. It's going to be way better than the regular season. Like, comment, and subscribe. Hoops Junction, where hoops meets hoopla. Peace.